Up, fight fans? So Terence Crawford and Ray Beltran got it on this weekend on HBO for Crawford's lightweight title. And once again, man, Crawford is really starting to become somewhat of a star in the making, as he got a unanimous decision over Ray Beltran and looked impressive. I think Crawford's falling somewhat into that mold of fans, I guess. You have half of them that are excited to see a guy like Crawford starting to come up, and then you're going to have, as usual, fans who are still wanting more from him. And I think with this fight, it was a situation where Beltran had beat, in my opinion, and I think the opinion of many boxing fans and insiders, that he beat Ricky Burns and got screwed. And then, Crawford goes and fights him and beats him. But the lightweight division wasn't riddled with a lot of stars or a lot of big fights, and even for Crawford to get the Gamboa fight is, for namesake, I mean that was a big win for him. But as far as fighting legit strong lightweights, I mean Beltran, if you look at his track record, I mean he's obviously known mostly for being one of Manny Pacquiao's main sparring partners over the years. So you go into that fight thinking like, well, the experience factor, at least being in the ring or training with a guy at the level of Manny Pacquiao, you got to give him some type of credit in that aspect. But I think what we saw, man, is in Crawford, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, man, I think we're starting to see a star in the making. I mean, he just showed me things that I already had seen from him, but just little intangibles that I think will make him, it's still tough to say if he'll be a crossover star, but he's definitely attracting the eye of HBO, because I think the fact that he is a good boxer and can move, can hit on the back foot, but he's not so apprehensive to engage a bit. Now, some may think that may cause a problem with him when he starts to go up in weight, when he, because obviously this potentially is his last fight at 135 pounds. I mean, I think he's been wanting to go to 140 pounds for a minute, because he's been, according to him, at 135 pounds since he was 17 years old, and I'm not exactly sure how old Crawford is, but I want to think he's been there for over 5 years. So, your body matures, it grows, and, I think obviously the bigger fights are at 140. And I got to tell you guys, based on what I saw Saturday night, and even just things I've seen from him prior to that, I think he's going to give these guys problems. Like I said, he's a guy who can move, he can hit on the move. He's 5'8", not the tallest guy, but a little rangy, and knows how to control the distance, and is busy. He's not a guy that's somewhat of an economical puncher, and again, this ties in with his youth. And I don't even think he's really hit his peak yet, which is, for a lot of fighters at this level, they've been bringing him up pretty well. He's got, Gamboa, Beltran now, Ricky Burns, who's the guy that knocked out Khan? Brady's Prescott. And obviously not the craziest resume, but I think at 140 pounds, he may start to make that name. And when you look at fights with Danny Garcia, Lucas Matisse, Lamont Peterson, Adrian Broner, and even a fight with Mauricio Herrera, which, in my opinion, is probably a good starter fight at 140 pounds for him. Some may say that may be too dangerous of a fight, considering how Mauricio Herrera made Danny Garcia look, who is the WBC junior welterweight champion, but he may be going up to 147, so who knows. But that might be a good fight to kind of gauge really how good he's going to be at 140 pounds. So, we'll have to wait and see. I don't want to really make a big video about it, because, again, we still have to see more of Crawford, but me personally, I'm looking forward to seeing the guy. I think he's got the goods. It's just a question now getting him in there with the likes of the names I just mentioned, and really see how he does with those guys. So, as I always say, subscribe, hit the links, and I'll be back with you soon. And I've been getting hit up a lot about this whole Mayweather-Pacquiao situation. As far as the whole hoopla is concerned, I am going to make a video about it Maybe a little lengthy, but I don't want to continue to make videos and videos on top of videos like I've seen other people do. It's just a waste of time. But I want to give my insight on it, so stay tuned for that. But like I just said, subscribe, hit the links, and I'll be back with you soon.